So I like to make this video just as a initial impression of this little coffee maker. It's called the Scoop. It's by Hamilton Beach, and I really kind of dig it. I've already made probably 6-7 cups of coffee with it, and I'm really happy with the results that I've gotten out of it. I have it next to my older Keurig here. This is an old B70, and as you can see, just looking at the size, the form factor is it's much smaller, and for single serve, it's perfect for me. So what makes this the Scoop is it has this little scoop here, and it has one line there on the stainless steel that you can see, and then the top of the stainless steel is the large cup. So, and the way it works is real simple. You have this little top that lifts off here, and you scoop, or just put your coffee into that, and then close it down. And it closes down with authority. I like that. And then you pour your water into a little reservoir up here, and I don't know how well you can see. Yeah, it's got an 8-ounce line and a max line. And the max line is for 14 ounces, and the 8 ounces is for 8 ounces, and it actually does 8 ounces. The problem I have with this Keurig is you set it to the 8-ounce one, and it doesn't quite give you 8 ounces. So when you try to do 2 cups to do 16 ounces, it really kind of just gives you 14 ounces. So I figured, okay, we'll do this. So it has this, the Scoop, which has it's a little bit wet because I just used it. It has the primary filter in it, which is a pretty fine mesh. It's not the finest mesh, so you wouldn't want to use like super like espresso coffee grounds in here. And then you have a secondary filter, which has a little bit finer mesh, and that does not feel metal. It feels more like just plastic mesh. And then it has a filter well, which is removable. So this is what allows it just to have one stream coming out and not make a big huge mess on the countertop. So I'll put this back in here like this. And then another feature this has, so this does 2 sizes. It'll do 8 ounces or 14 ounces. So if you're gonna do 14 ounces, you just put your travel mug right here. If you wanna do just 8 ounces, you can actually pull this little thing out and just tuck it in like that. And then you have a nice little rest to put your cup on. So, okay. And then as far as simplicity goes, it has 2 buttons. Regular and bold. And on regular, it's just a regular drip style coffee. So if you're gonna just make some, first wave type coffee, you would just use the regular setting. And I just hit the button there. And as you can see, since I have no water in it, the little light flashes and it doesn't do anything. So it will not brew if there's no water in it. And then of course it has the bold setting. And the bold setting makes it work a little slower. So it slowly pours the water over the coffee. I think it lets it bloom in there a little bit, and then it continues on. So it takes a little longer to brew a cup of bold coffee, but I guarantee you it's worth it. So this is my favorite coffee, Black Rifle Coffee Company. That's my go-to here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a pot, I should say. I'm gonna make a cup, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so here we are. And real quick, before I get into this process, I just wanted to kind of show a couple of different methods I use with my Keurig to make ground coffee. So Keurigs are nice when you're using K-cups or you're just doing single serving type of things like an 8-ounce or a 10-ounce cup or something like that. But when you want to do a 14 to 16-ounce travel mug, it gets to the point where the advantages of the Keurig are lost when you're not using K-cups, because you end up doing just as much, if not more work, than if you have something like this. Now I've already loaded my little Scoop thing here with my favorite. Well, this isn't my favorite, but it's really close to one of my favorites. This is the Black Rifle's Coffee or Die blend. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and open the top here, and I'm going to pour in the water up to the max fill line. So I'm going to do this here. We have pretty hard water at our house, so I'm using filtered water. It's a little easier on the components. Okay, so that's about it. See, it's right there at the max fill line. Okay. The nice thing is you can't overflow because it won't brew any more than you already have. So close the lid, open the top here, put the basket, little scoop basket in the top, and hit the bold button because that's how we like it. And it takes a few minutes for it. It's not as fast as a Keurig either, but you know, one thing you can do is you could load this up the night before, put your water in the night before, just come out and hit the button and go do whatever it is you have to do. I usually make my lunch when I'm making my coffee anyway, so see, it's starting to come out there. And this will take a couple of minutes, so okay, so I think we're about done here. The little light will automatically shut off when it is finished. Okay, the light's off. Let's see what we ended up with. I filled that pretty close to the top, so about, this is a 16-ounce container. Put 14 ounces in there, so that's good. So let's see what it's like. So as far as cleanup goes, it's pretty easy. I just like to lift the lid up here, let any moisture that's in here just kind of evaporate off. And then you lift this section here, pull the brew basket out, take this over to the trash, the sink, or whatever you want. It says it's dishwasher safe. I would probably just hand wash it if I were you. Got some of the other finer grinds in the secondary brew basket. And then I'm just going to take this out because I don't like residue being stored in the bottom of my coffee maker. And so put it down, just kind of slide it to the back here, wipe off the little drips off the front, and put it back together, and you're done. So my final thoughts on this little coffee maker, on this initial impression, I like it. I picked this up for about $35, $36 on Amazon. Shipped to my house in 2 days. Love Amazon. Anyways, in a world of super technology, gizmos and gadgets and things that do 100 different things like the Ninja or whatever, it's nice to see something that just is, it's a simple coffee maker for a simple guy who just wants black coffee. I don't need whipped lattes and crap like that. Another thing is it feels really durable. Like, it doesn't feel cheap at all. I mean, it was inexpensive, yeah, but I mean, it's got a nice metal housing. I mean, things these days just feel so plastic, and you know, for 35 bucks, this thing feels like a $100 coffee maker. It's pretty cool for what it is. So yeah, I would definitely recommend looking at it. I mean, for $35, if you don't like it, send it back. But for my money, I dig it. I really like it.
Makes okay coffee. It's nothing great, but it's also very loud, and of course it does use the proprietary pods that aren't required with the Hamilton Beach single serve. Okay, so I'm going to make a pot of coffee using the single serve scoop. So I've ground my favorite coffee beans. I fill it up. I'm going to make a 14-ounce travel mug, so I'm going to fill it up to the line for 14 ounces. And you do use more coffee for this than you would for a standard coffee maker. So I use probably about almost half as much coffee for a travel mug as I would use for an entire pot. So I fill it up like that, and then it goes into the coffee maker right there. So we'll lift up the holder. So we put the coffee in. Now we pour the water. So the reserve lifts up, and you pour it up to the full line. So I'll see if I can do this without spilling. You flip this down, and then you select which height you need. So you can, for a coffee cup, there you go. And for a travel mug, you do that. You put your cup underneath, then you can select your brew. I'm going to do regular. So I'll push regular. Blue light comes on. And we'll watch it at least begin to brew. Okay, so about a minute later, you can see that it's pouring through, the coffee's steaming, it's nice and hot, and you'll notice it's pretty quiet compared to the Tassimo. It's much quieter, so that's another kind of nice attraction to it. It's one of the problems I have with Tassimo is it was so loud in the morning that it just was kind of unpleasant. So no problem with the Hamilton Beach in terms of sound. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that you can't make lattes or cappuccinos with the single serve scoop coffee maker like you can with the Tassimo, but if you're just looking for coffee, then this to me is a much better product. Okay, the coffee's complete, and now for the cleanup, simply open up. You see the bean, so you lift it straight up, and you throw it away. You wash this out, and you're ready for another pot. Okay, the final verdict on the Hamilton Beach single serve scoop coffee maker is 4.5 stars. It's maybe not quite as good tasting as our bun coffee maker, but it's definitely a lot quieter, easier to use than the Tassimo that we have, and you're not required to buy pods. You can use the coffee of your choice. So for that, it's a much better advantage, and it's a little smaller as well, so it takes up a little bit less counter space than what you'd use with the Tassimo. So with that, 4.5 stars.
Brewing a cup, and I like a big cup. So the problem is I have to add more water to the back here, and if I don't add just the right amount, then this will spill over. And I also get a lot of backsplash and splash all over my counter, and I found that the filter that it comes with, it just grinds end up in my cup. So I've been using these little disposable ones, which is not ideal. It's kind of a mess, but I guess if you're making 1 cup and it's not too big and you know how much water you need, then that's fine. Maybe I'm grinding my coffee a little bit too fine. I don't know. I've got it almost to the medium setting, and okay, so we're just dealing with what we got. But if I had it to do again, I would not buy this.
I love this coffee maker, but I don't like the mess it makes. I put these napkins down to show all the splashing it does on your counter. So yeah. This especially happens when you use a taller or traveler size mug or cup. I don't see as much splashing on the counter when I use a smaller cup where the tray is elevated. But you get the backdrop splashes either way. But it's a great coffee maker otherwise.
Try this.
Here. I will tell you how that coffee came out.